This is exactly right.
We know so much more about our skin than we used to.
And we know how important it is to take care of it with CeraVe.
CeraVe facial cleansers don't strip the skin. They strengthen the skin barrier from day one. I've always used CeraVe.
They have little samples at my dermatologist as I'm leaving, and they don't do that with just anything.
CeraVe is the #1 dermatologist recommended cleanser brand and offers a range of facial cleansers for all skin types. Find yours.
Goodbye. Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora Jewelry.
Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and moments that make the season unforgettable.
From sun-kissed metals to personalized pieces ready to be engraved with your summer mantra.
Each design moves with you from beach days to golden nights and every memory in between.
Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection in-store or online at pandora.net and let your summer unfold. Goodbye.
Summer is for adventures, road trips, and adding a whole lot of miles to your car.
That's why it's worth stopping at Valvoline Instant Oil Change first.
Their trained techs help you get road trip ready with an oil change and an 18-point maintenance check included with every oil change, checking your tire pressure, wipers, lights, and more.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change techs complete over 270 hours of training, so your car's in capable hands.
Best part? You can stay in your car and you're in and out in about 15 minutes.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Change wisely.
Goodbye.
Hello.
And welcome
to Rewind with Karen and Georgia.
That's right. Every Wednesday, we recap our old shows and we give you new commentary and updates and insights.
Today, we're recapping episode 78, which we named The Freshest Recording.
Yeah, it really is. This episode came out on July 20th, 2017.
So let's get into it. Let's listen to the intro of episode 78.
The beeping? Should I go tell the beeping to stop? You don't hear that?
There's no beeping, Georgia.
And we've started.
And breakdown.
And Georgia hears beeping.
Do you hear that sound of a baby crying?
This is not an ad for
For a new beeper?
a new brain.
We're bringing back beepers.
Beepers.
Are you a doctor or a drug dealer?
Or do you play one on TV?
Then you need a beeper.
Or are you having an affair and you need a way for your affair person to contact you?
What was the affair? What was the thing of like some kind of a 411 but for hookups?
No.
Yeah. It was like...
I guess I didn't hook up when I had a beeper.
Oh, I did all the time.
No.
When I was an emergency room intern? No, never. Of course not.
You were serious?
I'm super blackout drunk in a bar and then I hold up my beeper. Guys, I've got to go.
Yeah.
My sugar daddy's calling me.
One of my... hey, welcome to My Favorite Murder.
Hi, welcome to My Favorite Murder. That's Georgia Hardstark.
That's Karen Kilgariff.
We're here to read to you and tell to you true crime stories from all around the nation and world.
And more.
And then some.
And then more.
And then after that, half a teaspoon more. It's the morning. We've never recorded in the morning
This
before.
is so weird.
I had to stay at work late last night. Everybody got to adjust to my needs. So we were supposed to record last night. I called and said I'm still at work. Then, Georgia, you've actually been into this idea for a while. I feel like you've been very morning positive about... Right?
It just feels fun and fresh and like different. You know what I mean? Like recording in a different place. It feels like a field trip without going anywhere.
Yes. School is new again for us.
Yeah.
And now I can really learn.
And it lets me drink whiskey in the morning.
Finally.
Because I can't do this podcast without whiskey. That's not true. That's not true.
But I just need to put this out here. If you or any of your friends are drinking whiskey in the morning, that was the end stage for me right before I was hospitalized.
What time?
I know you're joking. What time?
I meant that. I was legitimately curious.
If it's after 11:30, you're in the clear.
Yeah. I always am like, can I? No. If it's not on a weekend and it's not brunch, although this is like, well, what's weird is that this is going to come out later today. So everyone listening on Thursday, this is this morning. Are you fucking dee-doo-da-doo-dee-doo?
Oh, yeah. Same day.
Yeah.
First time, same day. This is the freshest recording we've ever
not your
released.
fault. I was out of town on Tuesday and Monday, so we couldn't record like we usually do.
Oh, thank you.
welcome.
Georgia, that means a lot to me that you would
I wouldn't put it on you at all. Because, yeah.
That's very nice of you to mention. I didn't even realize that. Georgia's, how was that trip, by the way? Tell the people what you were doing.
I fucking had this crazy experience. Oxygen, they were going to have us. Instead, it was just me available. And I was like, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oxygen is turning into True Crime Network. This is not a plug. They didn't pay me to do this or anything like that.
She's just trying to tell her story.
I really had an incredible time. They have this like special called,
The Jury Speaks.
The Jury. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm your stage mother.
I'm really early and I've only had, bullet coffee.
You've only had 2 shots of whiskey.
Yeah. So far. So the Jury Speaks. And so I did this panel for press where I interviewed 4 of the jury members who were on these like high profile cases where they were really fucking, controversial and like kind of ruined these jurors' lives for a while because instead of blaming the justice system that let, George Zimmerman go, they blamed the juries for voting the way that they were told to vote, which is if you have reasonable doubt. And then it asks the question, like, with everything you know now, would you vote differently? And these people were they were just normal people who were very affected by these trials, by what happened to them afterwards.
How could you not be?
This one woman who was on the George Zimmerman trial was just she just was so emotionally raw and wonderful. And she really touched me. So
it sounds like it's going to be a good show. I would love to watch that.
I watched it. You're like, I'm so sick of the O.J. Simpson trial. I've seen every fucking thing about it. Well, this is from the jury's perspective. It's all interviewing
which you've never seen anything of.
And they explain why they voted the way they voted, which everyone's like, you fucking fuck you. It's the Michael Jackson case. It's really cool.
I feel like people were fuck you in the 90s. And now, especially because of those 2 things that came out recently.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh yeah, I get it. I'm starting to get it as like a white American. I'm starting to understand what all the things I didn't know and never opened my eyes to before were about.
Yeah. And how unfair it is.
Yeah.
But yeah. It was
insane.
really, really interesting. So that's what I was there for.
That's great.
And it was fun.
I bet.
Yeah.
Did you get your hair did?
I got my nails and toes did.
Oh, but like, what about, were you in that makake chair? I'm saying that's my favorite part of anything.
No, for this, it wasn't recorded, unfortunately, because for the first time in my life, headed the panel.
Oh, it was like a live panel.
It was a panel for press. And so there was like 50, 60 people in the room that were press. And I was like, so when you got sequestered and asking, and then the person who made the show is Nancy Glass, who remember was the Inside Edition blonde woman.
Nancy Glass, yeah.
And she's a fucking badass. And she was on the panel and she's won Emmys. She's just an incredible broadcaster. So it's so weird to be sitting there interviewing her.
Wow.
When I'm like, cool. You should be. She was incredible. And so she made it. So it's great.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I had a really good time.
Does that mean she picked you to be the person?
I don't know. I don't think so, but she pretended to know who I am. And I was honored. I took a photo with her. It was just really exciting. Great. Yeah. She's just this longtime true crime investigative journalist host. And I was honored to be there.
Awesome.
Thank you.
First class?
First class on the way there.
Oh, shit. Girl.
On my dime. They didn't. Yeah.
I love it.
How about you?
Who, me? Oh, I'm just sitting in a office for 11 hours a day talking about what fictional characters may or may not do in their lives and why, and if it could be symbolic or any meaningful in any way to other people. And it's just conversation after conversation. And by the time I leave, I don't want to speak or look at anybody else. I've eaten so much Trader Joe's snack food. Yeah. I have it really rough.
But first class?
First class all the way, baby. The one thing I did want to mention, and we've gotten tons of tweets about, is the fact that they ID'd an unknown victim of John Wayne Gacy.
Totally.
Cook County sheriff just made this announcement, and of course we got 1,000 tweets about it, which I love. The funniest thing is now all the tweets are, "Did you already get this?"
Yeah,
and it's
or
like,
"I know you already saw this, but just in case," which is sweet.
Thank you, mommy.
Yeah.
So just really quick, if you haven't read any of the articles, which you probably
have.
They
came out today, so I'm glad we're recording today.
Yeah. So they said, so there's 8 unidentified victims. And at the time, when they found these bodies, it was 1976. It was 1978. 78
that they found the bodies,
I believe, right?
Yeah.
I don't have the
78
year.
or 79.
Yeah. So 8 were unidentified and they couldn't do anything about it because they of course obviously didn't have the forensics that we have today. And they kept jawbones.
I know.
But so that if people came forward with dental records.
So creepy.
Yeah.
But back then, like, dental wasn't a thing that it is today, which is like you take your kids immediately. So not everyone had dental records back then.
That's exactly right. And so this identified victim, Jimmy Hawkinson, he was 16 years old when he was murdered by John Wayne Gacy.
Oh, baby.
And his mother actually went to Chicago in 1979 to try to find out if her missing son was one of the victims. But because she didn't have dental records, they couldn't tell her anything. They had no way of knowing anything. But they've continued to test
unidentified
evidence,
remains.
the remains that they have. And the cool thing is, so it's 39 years later and Hawkinson's nephew sees that they're still testing remains. So he encourages his, I believe it was his aunt and his father to go give the DNA so they could test it. And immediately
he's a fucking murderino if he's just like, I'm going to track my uncle down.
Well, wouldn't you be so fascinated if you had a missing uncle who was suspected to have been at 16?
Yeah. You and I would be, I think most people listening would be like, I'm going to track this down. But some people would be like, this is too hard for my family. They don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. It's also when it's just a missing child, that's just it's so sad. They just no answer. You just
almost
don't know.
Do you want the answer? Cause then it's like, it's a period on the sentence that like maybe he'll walk through the door someday or maybe, not really wanting to know that it's over and that this monster John Wayne Gacy is the reason. And like his mom let him move to Chicago to like start a new life. And then they said, right, that he called her on August 5th. I just read it this morning.
Yeah. When he got there.
And they think maybe the same day he got captured, right?
Well, that was all I read was that was the last she ever heard of him. So it was like very soon after.
So sad.
I love the way that he really underlined the fact that his family loved him. His family had been searching for him. This was not, it's that thing they always do. Not always do, but sometimes do the story with victims, which is the hitchhiker who didn't care about their life, the runaway who it doesn't matter what happened to them anyway, the sex worker who really cares is just another victim, or it's like he really was underlining this is a family who missed their child, their 16-year-old boy for 39 years.
Yeah. I hope I didn't sound like when I said that they didn't want to know that. I don't know if that's true or not, but
no, you're just saying that's a possibility
for some
because
people probably.
Then the grief, then you have to then that's a whole new grieving process.
And you've learned how to compartmentalize this. Anyways, I don't know.
Who knows?
I've never lost someone like that. So
yeah, who knows?
I'm just speculating.
Yeah.
That's all this show is this podcast is speculation.
It's speculation. I like to lie outright.
What was the quote or the saying you call it, or someone called it?
The vague postulating?
That's vague postulation.
Something like serious vague postulating. That's what I'm all about. We're just talking about
sincere vague postulating.
Something.
Well, that's fucked up and I'm glad. And then the creepiest part to me was that they could tell when it happened based on this stacking of the bodies.
Oh, right. Like what number victim he was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Can you hold on one second? There's somebody either trying to break in or clean.
Probably clean.
But why would they? Or the kitten's doing something, which I don't think she is.
Sounds like cleaning.
Why would they? I don't think they do that.
Ever?
No. Look at that fucking disgusting
Why
window.
would you? Yeah, but how do you get up there? Maybe there's something going up the side of the building.
All right. Well, keep this in because someone's trying to break into my fucking house right now.
I don't see anybody.
Okay, they left. They gave up. And then you hear a smash.
It turns out it was a hummingbird.
Crashed into the window.
That hummingbird's trying to kill me.
That's where my brain goes to immediately. So they stacked the bodies and he stacked them by when he got them, he just buried them on top of each other so they could be he died at this time or this year because we know the body underneath him went away, disappeared on this day, and the one on top of him disappeared on this day. So
yeah,
they can get. It's not creepy. The visual
so
of that makes me so sad for these kids.
The visual of that is what sparked my what the hell is going on in this actual world.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
With the burying of the bodies. You saw
the
diagram.
Drawing a diagram of where the bodies were buried in the house. And to me, to my child's mind, I thought he'd buried them in the walls.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense to me that it was underneath. So I was just like, because I knew my parents were telling me stuff.
Yeah.
Because my parents would always be like, we'll tell you later. We'll tell you when you're older.
Which nothing makes you want to know more
I mean,
than they tell you that.
for real. And so that was one of the ones. Anyway, it makes me happy that they're still working the way they are.
Yeah.
For this. That there's something about that that's very heartening to me.
Can we go back to, you never gave me an answer, what time drinking whiskey means you're about to Karen out and have to go to the hospital?
Let's not call it Karen.
I'm sorry. Steven, take that out.
No, you don't have to. You know what it is? It's not time of day. It's that you think you need it.
Why? And you think it's okay.
When it's not a choice. Because it moves to a point where it's not a choice anymore, especially when you're at that point. I was only drinking whiskey only. So my friends we'd meet at a bar. People would get a round of beers. I would have a shot of Jameson's. I would be done before everybody, of course. Mine was smaller. And then I would keep on having shots of whiskey until I was trying to kick the bouncer in the shins for no reason. Party central.
Party Karen.
Party times.
Anyways. All right. So 11 o'clock.
At that, right around 11:15. If at that point I remember taking a bottle of Jameson's off the top of my refrigerator, the second I woke up in the morning, like it was coffee. And as I drank it, like just took a swig of it thinking, this is very bad.
Oh, you knew then.
Yeah.
But you were like, well, I'll stop soon. I'll stop doing this. But today is not the day.
No, I knew, no, you know what it was? I knew it was bad and I knew I should stop, but I also knew I could not stop. I knew that.
How scary.
It was horrible.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Because you fucking did it and you did it well. And you did. I'm so impressed that you did that.
Thank you.
As someone who drinks,
I mean, look, I highly recommend seizures. They are upsetting. They're mysterious.
I tried one at like 12. I gave it a shot at 12. It wasn't for me.
No, I mean, they're
Moved
not
on.
for everybody.
Yeah. No, I really had a seizure at 12.
For what?
I don't know. My brother, I think so. My brother and I have both had one seizure like around that age and then never again.
It might have been your brain growth spurt because kids have them when they're 7. Mm-hmm. They have them when they're babies if they have fevers. Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes when you're 7, sometimes when you're 14. Every 7 years when your brain grows. And say.
Like a hormone release. And I had been playing soccer all day, probably was dehydrated. Mm-hmm. And I had it in this isn't interesting. I had it in my sleep, which isn't supposed to actually be a seizure.
No, that's when I have all mine.
Oh, right. That's right.
They are seizures.
Did I tell you I was sharing, this is how young I was sharing a bunk bed with my sister. I started shaking. Thank God we shared a room at the time. She ran into my mom's room and said, we were really into The Simpsons at the time. And she said, Mom, George is having a cow. I was probably younger. I was probably like
Your
10.
mom's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. And I missed my whole ride in the ambulance. I'm so buped about that.
Oh, because you were out?
Yeah.
It's not that great. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
It's not like fun.
Like you'd think.
It's not as fun as you think.
Stephen Ray Morris keeps giving us presents. We get him nothing.
You just pulled that out of the envelope a little bit and I see VHS.
You see VHS. This must have cost, Stephen, send us an invoice. Here you go.
It's your story.
Here you go. Read it to everyone.
Echoes in the Dark. Joseph Wambaugh's Echoes in the Darkness, everybody. This is the story.
A fucking video cassette he tracked down.
It's Peter Coyote, Robert Loggia, Stockard Channing telling the story of William Bradfield Patches, we called him. Dr. J. Smith.
Principal, what was his name?
I don't remember.
The principal.
And
then Patches. Missing children with the fucking little statue in the forest. Steven.
Oh, guys.
A+.
It's such a cool VHS.
It's such a VHS that I remember from my childhood.
I mean, it's in perfect condition.
Somebody really held on to that tight.
Somebody dusted their VHS shelf every day.
What makes me sad is like what happened to them that we were able to get this if they saved it that long. Either they died and their parents or their siblings were like, sell it on eBay, sell all of Dad's VHSs. Oh, can I go fucking dark all the time? Can I ever go positive?
Yeah, because now let's do the therapy. Now there are 4 other choices. choices that
Karen
could be
and I
happening
are
here.
holding our hand up with 5 fingers.
Every time you think of something that's upsetting that you think is the truth,
The fuck?
something's working on the side of your house.
Okay.
That sounded like a weird fart, didn't it?
No, it sounded like a noisemaker when
New
you
Year's Eve.
Yeah. grrr. Okay. So you hold up. Okay, everyone, this is the rule of 6?
Rule of 5.
Okay.
No, the rule of 6. Sorry.
Okay. So number 1 is the negative thought.
So you're like,
Someone died and that's why we have the VHS.
someone died. It's the only reason we have a VHS.
Yeah. Which I kind of enjoy postulating
Of course.
that way.
Well, worst case. You always explore the worst case.
Yeah. So then the 5 is like, maybe they had a wonderful life with wonderful family. Maybe they're not actually dead. And maybe they were happy to let this move on to someone else. Stephen, tell us the background of you buying this. Did someone send it to you or was like,
Oh no, I just found it on eBay, but the person sent a letter.
oh my God, handwritten.
So they're still alive.
And it says, Dear customer, please know I upgraded in bold at my cost your VHS ordered a first class mail because I consider you a first class customer.
Congratulations.
Media mail I consider too slow. I also mailed it in a padded mailer with free delivery confirmation. I hope I have earned your 5-star feedback you have. And
Yes.
if not, please message me on how to improve. Thanking you, Karen with an I.
Yes.
Oh my God, Karen.
Karen, great job, Karen.
Speaking of great job, and this isn't a present that's not from me. And then I want to read the letter because this is from a murderino. The letter made me cry.
Nice.
But it's really self-serving because it's because of something I said on the
course,
podcast.
sure.
Is that okay?
I feel like this is podcast.
Okay. So, Karen, Georgia, Stevens, sisters and I are a huge fan, sending you a thing, but I never expected to, but I wanted to share with you a very personal way in which your approach to the podcast inspired and motivated me.
Can I just say one thing?
What?
If you're going to read a letter that's like slightly self-congratulatory, you can't skip through the beginning of their part.
But it's long.
Da-da-da, you love me, da-da-da.
No. Okay. Well, I'll read it.
No.
Okay. Well, I was going to read the rest. So,
It does look long, actually.
in an early-ish episode, Georgia was making a t-shirt corner update. Karen mentioned how impressed she was. See, this is so dick. By Georgia's tenacity and follow through and actually making the shirts a reality. And because remember, I was like, you don't have to be perfect, just fucking do things.
Yes.
Which is my motto in life.
That's right.
Georgia went to express how she just doesn't let the fear of messing up or not being perfect hold her back. She continued to explain the theory that people who make A-quality work often don't even start, much less finish making things because they're so hung up on perfection and fear of failing. It was a light bulb moment. This described me. I went to school for design, currently work in the design industry, yet have been terrified of creating personal passion projects for fear that they wouldn't turn out, quote, perfect. Gumption and willingness to start t-shirts on this podcast, despite things not always being perfect, no shit, was so encouraging to me. With the mindset of fuck perfection, I successfully created a little bit of jewelry for you guys and all the other murderinos out there who want one. Inside the tiny envelopes, I'm passing them to you. And Stephen, you get one too, even though it's weird. You will find a solid 14 karat gold murderino script necklaces. Ooh. My first foray into making jewelry.
Nice.
I drew the script, figured out how to 3D print said script from a mold, found a casting place, made prototypes, then lovingly put each one together by hand. They are all designed and made in New York City. You guys get the first 3 because you inspired the whole thing. And I want to say thank you. I have blast Taylor so much. I'm really proud I made them. Thank you all for pursuing what you love and for being authentic and hilarious team. My sisters and I wish you all the best happiness and success. Stephanie of the Sisters Gamble.
Sisters Gamble.
You can get it. It's Etsy, the Sisters Gamble, Gamble. P.S. Stephen, I don't know if you're into necklaces, but I know you could rock it alongside the stash.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Stephen, you will look so 1975.
Oh, because it's gold.
I mean, I do have chest hair.
You have a lot of chest hair.
Live, love, laugh.
Listen, shave your chest hair into a mustache. No,
Yes.
do it.
These are beautiful. That's really lovely. And that makes me really happy because that's so true.
Yeah.
Just fucking do what you want to do. You'll improve later.
It made me really tear up and proud of us.
Yeah.
Not just because of us. We said fuck it. And
Yeah.
did it.
It's funny. Those ideas that seem kind of simple, for me, they're like just TED Talks that I've watched. It's like, if you go onto the Brene Brown vulnerability TED Talk, watch that. And then there's going to be a bunch of other ones that are like perfection ruining shit, ruining creativity, this, that, and the other thing. You can there's a whole philosophy of life that you can discover.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, that made me, so thank you, Stephanie.
Thanks.
We got to, let's see. my aunt actually turned Richard Speck into the police. Maybe we can save these for hometowns. I worked with Trisha Melee.
Oh, wait, that person's aunt
turned Richard Speck into the police. I wonder if it's the
girl that went to high school with him that saw him in the Town and Country Center, that weird fucking mall in Sacramento.
Richard Speck was the one who killed all the nurses in the...
Oh, shit. Right? Sorry, I was thinking Richard Chase.
Oh, is that right? Oh, Richard Chase was the creepy Sacramento
Chase
dude.
Was the Sacramento the vampire, and that's Richard Speck.
Yeah, we should... Okay, this says Georgia, Karen, Stephen, Mimi, and Elvis, but we should also give a shout out to the person who made you that cross stitch of the dogs.
Oh, that's right.
And I want to say right now that Elvis is at the doctor's because we have a new kitten named Dottie, and she got Elvis sick. And I love this new kitten very much, but if she kills Elvis, I'm going to fucking lose my mind.
How old is Elvis, Georgia?
He's about to be 13.
He's going to be okay.
Okay. I hope my subject line grabbed your attention. You guys are the best and make my hour-long Chicago commute so much more bearable. I've gotten countless friends and family members hooked into listening by telling them the Mary Vincent and Sarah Brady stories. But anyway, on to my aunt's story. My aunt is Kathy O'Connor, and she was a nurse at Cook County Hospital in 1966. She always talked about this case when I was younger, but I never realized how much of a connection she actually had. I started reading the book, The Crime of the Century, which is about the Richard Speck murders, and he killed a bunch of nurses in that nurse. He went into the nurses' dormitory, and one woman survived by hiding. And in the chapter where they talk about him trying to kill himself and then getting admitted to the hospital, I see my aunt's name. Once I saw her name, I immediately went to talk to her, and she told me the real scoop. She was the nurse that treated him when he came to the ER that night. In every report you're going to see, it says that Leroy Smith was the one who saw his tattoo and alerted the police. But after talking with my aunt this week, it was actually her that noticed the tattoo on his wrist from a picture in the newspaper. She then told Leroy, and he alerted the police. Fuck yeah, bitch.
Yep.
And since this was 1966 and my aunt is a woman, she didn't get any of the credit. Down with the patriarchy. Am I right? Now you guys know the real story. All in all, it's fine because Speck was captured and was sentenced to life in prison, but it's still a pretty crazy story and connection. Thank you guys for this amazing podcast. It's honestly made me more I'm just like congratulating myself this whole time. It's honestly made me more aware as a person when I'm out alone. Next time you guys are in Chicago, hit me up and we can do a ghost tour, or you can talk to my badass aunt. Much love. Stay sexy. Don't get murdered. Mary Kay. Everyone in Chicago wants to give us a ghost tour.
I love it.
It must be a thing.
Well, because they have H.H. Holmes. They have so many
mob stuff.
The mobs, all that Al Capone stuff.
Okay. Well, listen, we're going to read some others that we got. That's what the hometown murder episodes, or the minisodes, basically are, for those of you who don't listen. So
yeah,
clearly,
we have so much catch up email, but I feel like we don't have time.
Yeah, because we
also, I think maybe we should do it next week too. We have to talk about the R. Kelly sex cult.
Absolutely.
It's crazy because I read the BuzzFeed article this morning. Mm-hmm. It's so much, there's so much detail. Like, it'll take us, let's talk about it next week.
Okay. I have like a list of things I've been meaning to talk about, but
that one is especially interesting because what really freaked me out is R. Kelly is touring. He was acquitted for 14 counts of child porn.
He married Aaliyah when she was 14 and he was like 20 something, 30 something.
And then there was a song called Age is Just a Number.
Yeah, which is like, no, that's not true.
But also when you start reading these accounts and the way he's keeping and controlling these women, it's unbelievable. And he's like on Fallon, and he's like, being in someone's funny video or whatever.
But I think still okay with these people. Chris Brown, I know it's dated, but I want to call that motherfucker out. Why does he still have a career after beating the shit out of Rihanna?
It's because when you make people money, the people who get paid because of making that money figure out a way to make it okay.
Yeah.
And that's what so much of show business is. And because people haven't had a voice before. And what a lot of, like, there was a reporter who had a really tragic quote that was like, this story proves that young Black women do not matter to people in this country. Which is really true. And it's a thing that, we come up against all the time when you're talking about true crime. This issue of the race of the victim and how that story gets treated is a huge problem.
Yeah.
And we're learning as we go. But it's nothing that we like we're just doing our best.
Right.
But it's a problem on this level. It's a problem, obviously, in the regular media. It's how the story gets presented where you go, well, this thing happened, but it's okay. And then everyone goes, great, it's okay.
Yeah. You don't question your immediate thinking, your immediate snap judgment, which I think is what we need to start paying attention to. Like, what's my snap judgment?
Yes.
And then questioning that.
Yes.
Because
that's my internal bias.
Yeah. That's why you're not ignorant, is you think for yourself and
try to keep on thinking.
Yeah.
And not shut down, not fight.
Not fucking absorb, or what is it called? Take on whatever is being fucking screamed at you.
Yeah. Just like swallow whatever the story on CNN is or whatever, but like actually try to, whatever.
Anyways.
We're all doing our best.
Should we get to the murders?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay.
There's now a Twitter account that keeps track of who went first. I swear to God, the first time I saw it made me laugh. Did you make it, Steven?
No.
Steven's like, I'm busy with so much of your other bullshit that you guys make me do.
But I did use it to look up.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Well, we're hiring them instead of you now.
Oh, that's cruel. Who is it? Me?
Yeah, it's you.
Okay. I go first.
And we're back. And we talked about R. Kelly for way too long.
Ugh, never again.
God.
Please, can we not?
Just no.
But what's interesting, though, is that there are new Gacy victims that have been identified since this recording. Since 2017, using modern DNA and forensic genealogy, additional Gacy victims have been identified, most notably Body 5, confirmed in 2021 as Francis Wayne Alexander. And as of 2025, 5 Gacy victims remain unidentified, with investigators urging relatives nationwide to submit DNA samples for comparison. You can't submit DNA if there's nothing to compare it to, right?
Yeah.
So that's so important.
Right. There's always progress to be made. It's like as the technology grows, people are like, okay, now we know this. Now go back and check that. Do we have something in a file? It's like the yogurt shop murders.
Totally. It's so funny that this is 2017, which means we hadn't even heard of genetic genealogy yet.
Yeah.
Like it hadn't started.
But everyone's hand was on the doorknob.
Yeah. Remember they were just doing the thing where they would be like, this is what the person may have looked like. That's like genome typing.
Oh,
and all they could do is be like, this is a blonde guy, and it might have looked like this based on his DNA. And now it's like, this is the fucking guy.
This is the guy.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, should we just get into it? Your story?
Let's do it.
All right. Here's Karen's story about Ellen Halbert. We know so much more about our skin than we used to.
10 years ago, no one in America knew what a skin barrier was.
It's time to take care of your skin with CeraVe.
CeraVe facial cleansers don't strip the skin. They strengthen the skin barrier from day one.
Formulated with 3 essential ceramides, hyaluronic acid, and niacinamide to provide long-lasting hydration and 12-hour oil control. I've been using CeraVe for over a decade, I would think. And now it's getting super trendy. And I don't know why, it just makes me proud that something I've used for so long is cool on socials now. But it really does work. And that's why it's been around so long.
No matter your skin type or concern, CeraVe has facial cleansers perfect for you and your skin barrier.
CeraVe is the #1 dermatologist recommended cleanser brand and offers a range of facial cleansers for all skin types. Find yours.
Goodbye. The future has an annoying habit of always showing up.
That's why now is a great time to start planning ahead.
Enter Acorns.
Acorns is a smart way to give your money a chance to grow. You can sign up in minutes and start automatically investing, even if it's your spare change.
The Acorns potential screen shows you the power of compounding and how your money could grow over time. You can quickly adjust how much you're investing every day, week, or month to make sure you're always building towards your goals.
Whether you're just starting out or thinking about settling down, Acorns supports your big and small goals across every stage of life. Sign up now and Acorns will boost your new account with a $5 bonus investment.
Join the over 14 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $27 billion with Acorns.
Head to acorns.com/MFM or download the Acorns app to get started.
Paid non-client endorsement compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns.
Tier 2 compensation provided, potential subject to various factors such as customers' accounts, age, and investment settings.
Does not include Acorns fees. Results do not predict or represent the performance of any Acorns portfolio. Investment results will vary. Investing involves risk.
Acorns Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/MFM.
Goodbye. Summer means a whole new world for your feet.
They're walking more, sweating more, and going barefoot all day long.
For summer feet that need real comfort, there's Bombas.
Bombas has a whole line of sport-specific socks for golf, yoga, the gym, and every kind of runner.
They also make soft, supportive compression socks that are especially great for summer travel.
Bombas sandals and slides are made from super lightweight, cushy, waterproof EVA foam, so they feel incredibly comfortable.
And the best part? For every item you buy, Bombas donates an essential clothing item to someone facing housing insecurity, with over 200 million donations and counting.
I wore my Bombas compression socks on the plane ride to and from Italy. And listen, I'm a girl of a certain age at this point. It needs to be done. And I felt so comfy and so secure with my cute little Bombas socks.
So head over to bombas.com/MFM and use code MFM for 20% off your first purchase.
That's BOMBAS.com/MFM, code MFM at checkout. Goodbye.
So as we all know, when I'm working and I'm in the midst and in the mix, and I have don't have a ton of time to do my homework, what do? I like to retell you my favorite I Survived episode.
That's great.
Okay, good. Thank God.
No, can we stop for a minute? Karen, I'm going to need you.
Go outside.
Take notes.
Steven, here's what's amazing to me. So this one I remembered, and we've actually talked about it very lightly before. But it's one of my favorites. And when I went to rewatch it, so I could just all the information is from this woman it's her story. I'm taking it directly from the I Survived episode. This is basically like if you're driving, I'm telling you an I Survived, so you don't have to watch it, because that's exactly what everything I'm talking about I got from the show I Survived.
I tried to watch it actually recently, and
it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard and it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't watched a lot of these, so tell me.
What I love about it is it electrifies me with people sitting there telling this thing that we only talk about third, fifth hand, so far away, so distant
because
from
we
the
don't
experience.
We don't have the explanation of the victim because they're dead in most cases.
Yeah. And these are people who got through it and turned around and were like, this happened to me. It's not my fault. I got through it. I'm not, I'm like, here's what I did after.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And they're 80% women. And the women who are on it, I would say 80% were raped in some way and left for dead in some way. And then there's just some man who was like, well, I took my tractor out.
Well, there was the one I watched, the only episode I watched, there was a guy who was in Haiti after.
Yes.
And there was an earthquake and he was trapped in the hotel elevator that fell upon him for like 80 something hours.
Yeah.
And it was incredible.
Yeah.
But he was there to fucking help people. So it's not like he was like, I hiked into the forest.
No. And look, their survival stories are important too, but it's interesting to watch. If you're interested, watch it, because you'll see the difference of somebody that's like, he held a knife to my throat.
It's like they should make two shows. And one of them is these stories of getting lost and, being on your boat or whatever and earthquakes. And the other should be, it's like kind of paying tribute to women and men who have been attacked and yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they can do what they want.
Yeah.
As long as they keep doing it. So I have these things to rely upon.
Not to talk down. Yeah.
Look, hey, listen. Okay. So this is what's amazing about this is it's season 2, episode 10 of I Survived. It's the same episode as our friend Sarah Brady, who was pregnant, 9 months pregnant, who got attacked by the fake pregnant girls.
This was like the best episode you've ever seen.
The best episode, my favorite girl. Well, this woman is on the same episode as her.
That's insane.
I was thrilled.
Great.
It was like a star sighting for me. Okay. So this is, this is Ellen Halbert's story. Okay. This takes place outside of Austin, Texas, in an affluent area, I guess in the hills, in 1986, September of 1986. So Ellen Halbert is in her 40s. She's a wife and mother. She's having a run-of-the-mill morning. She's reading the paper. She's drinking her coffee in peace and quiet. Her husband is out for the day golfing, and her son is at school all day. So she eventually decides to go upstairs and take a shower to get ready for her day. She takes a shower, and when she gets out of the shower, she grabs a towel, wraps it around her. She's walking over to the closet to get a robe when she notices something in the corner.
Oh, no.
And what's in the corner is a 5'11" man standing, holding she says, the largest knife she's ever seen up above his head, dressed like a ninja.
No, can you fucking... Like, you'd be like, this, my brain isn't working.
She said she laughed out loud because she couldn't figure out. She said she thought it was a joke, couldn't figure out what was happening.
I have chills right now.
Yes.
It's like seeing a ghost.
Yes. But like, and also it's that thing where, you know, sometimes I have like those weird floaters in my eyes where every once in a while I'm like, is that a cat? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like,
you're having a seizure, Karen.
Cat seizure, which is like some weird thing passes in your eye line or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't turn your head and expect to see a huge cat standing there or what. I mean, but that's
full
the thing.
Body. Yeah. You expect to see like, oh, weird. I might have.
She didn't expect anything. No. She didn't even see anything out of the corner of her eye. She's just getting out of the shower regular day.
Fuck. Okay.
Horrifying.
Everyone is just gasping in their cars right now.
Also, this ninja outfit, if you're not familiar.
Oh, you bet.
Every part of his body was covered. It was black pants, black shirt, head wrap. He's also wearing gloves. Oh. So it's just eyes and a knife, basically, in the corner of her bathroom. Okay. He screams, "Get on the floor." And comes at her, and they start to, as she says in the episode, tussle, which is the cutest, and also reminds me of the movie Out of Sight with J-Lo and George Clooney.
Oh, that scene in the bathroom. Tub.
Those guys. Anyhow, so he pushes her into the bedroom, and he backhands her and knocks her onto the ground. She gets up. He does it again. She gets up again and sits on the edge of the bed. And because she says she's basically naked except for this towel, she pulls her knees up, to her chest to like try to get covered and as small as she can. And he walks over and drags the knife across her feet. And he says, "I just want you to know that my knives are much sharper than yours."
Oh my God. Did he cut her feet or just kind of was like threatening her?
It says, she said dragged across.
So we don't know.
So I think she'd say cut.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, you're right.
He tells her to look down and close her eyes and not to look at him. And then she does it. He takes his ninja mask off his face and wraps it around her head as a blindfold. And then he says, "It's a shame you can't see me. I'm half black and half white, and I'm a very handsome man."
What a weird power move.
Yeah, for sure. He starts asking her how much money she has. She offers to drive him to the bank. She says she'll give him everything she has in the bank. You know, she's bargaining, obviously. She says, "Let me write you a check. I'll give you everything I have." He says to her, "You're going to have a bad accident, lady."
Oh my God.
Yeah. He holds the knife to her throat. He binds her ankles and her hands behind her back.
Can I just also say that if someone either lets you see them when they're attacking you or says to you what they look like, then I would be like, oh shit, I'm not getting away from this to identify him.
That's right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's very realistic fear. So he starts to explain to her what his deal is and basically says that he's been hiding in her attic for 2 days. So he knows that the husband is golfing all day.
No.
And he knows that the son is gone all day. He knows no one's coming for her. He knows he's not going to get interrupted. And then he says, "I'm going to rape you." She begs for mercy as a Christian woman. He says it doesn't matter what he does to her because no one's ever going to catch him. So he says, "Get back on the bed." And then he rapes her. And when he's done, he goes and takes a shower and he puts his ninja suit back on.
No.
So she now is so scared that he's going to kill her. She doesn't try to move. She doesn't try to escape. He cuts her hands apart. He pulls off the blindfold. He shows her a check that he's taken out of her purse that he's written out to the amount of $600. And then he tells her to write his name on the check, Troy Eugene Wigley.
He gave her
his full name
to
to write on the check.
What the fuck?
So she writes it. Then he says to lay on the floor in the bathroom in the fetal position. And she does it. And she says she feels the right side of her head explode. And what's happened is he's hit her in the head with a hammer.
Oh no. Hammer is always my nightmare.
It's so gross.
Oh my God. She feels her head explode.
Yeah.
That's so descriptive.
And she doesn't know what's going on, obviously. Like, that's that thing on that show that freaks me out all the time.
Yeah.
People get shot in the head and they're sitting there telling their story, completely regular, like it was you or I, and they've been shot in the head.
Yeah.
And when they describe it, it's that thing where cause you don't know what happened.
Right.
It's like all of a sudden there was a weird sound in my ear. Like the way the personal experience, that's why I'm obsessed with that show.
Yeah.
It's the personal experience of it.
I don't think I really understand. And that's probably what the show is too, is like, I don't comprehend being blindfolded and how specifically scary that must be. Like, I don't think about that part, you know, where it's
Yes.
like you actually are not aware of anything in your life going on and all you have are your thoughts.
Right.
You don't
That's
get
exactly
to
right.
experience it. I don't think about that. You know, like, yeah, that sounds, I need to put myself in that position and think about it.
Or you don't have to.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't have to.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to.
Okay. All right. I feel so obligated to put myself in these victims' shoes so I can.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's about empathy.
Yeah.
But it just, to me, it's also just medically fascinating. Like, you would think if you got hit in the head with a hammer intentionally, you're not going to survive that.
No.
And people do. People
Yeah.
survive all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. Okay. So then he stabs her in the left breast.
Oh, no.
So then he hits her in the head again, stabs her twice in the back of the neck.
Oh my God.
It's going to get worse.
Okay.
Don't worry. It gets worse. Then he tries to, so you stop sipping coffee.
Because I'm going to spit everywhere.
He tries to stab her in the skull, but the knife won't go in.
I can't.
So he hammers the knife into her skull.
Oh!
All right.
I can't do this. I also think that Vince is in the other room listening to this whole thing, and he's horrified by.
There's no way he doesn't have earbuds in. Because Vince doesn't
true.
like true crime.
That's true. You're right. He's got those headphones in.
But this is the thing about, and I won't say it again. This is the 19th time I've said it. It's her telling the story.
I know.
She's the one going, then he hammered the knife into my skull. So there's that part of it where it's a person who went through this and came out the other side.
Okay. Oh, Jesus.
Then one last thing.
Okay. I'm here.
He tries to pull the knife out. It won't come out. So he's shaking her head around.
Your hand movement just now.
Okay.
He's
trying to get it out. He eventually puts his foot on her head to pull the knife out. She feels all this, but then she starts to go out of consciousness.
honestly, I'm kind of getting a little woozy right now.
Really?
Like I'm sweating a little. And
Yeah, this is bad. This is a bad one. So she's going in and out of consciousness. She doesn't know where he is. She looks into the bedroom and he's standing there he doesn't have the ninja outfit on anymore. And he screams, "Put your head back down." So she stops moving. She's like, and he comes and he pulls her wedding rings off. So she's like, oh, he's going to kill me for sure. She's freezing cold. She's lost so much blood, but she knows he's going to kill me. So she has to do something. So, he walks away. Once he pulls those rings off, he leaves and she doesn't know where he is, but she decides she has to, this whole time she's been in the bathroom.
Yeah.
She's like, I have to get out of here. So she pulls herself along the ground out of the bathroom through the bedroom and pushes herself down a flight of stairs to get downstairs to the phone.
Oh my God.
And she gets to the phone. What drove me insane when I watched this for the first time, she called her parents.
No.
But I don't know if it's because it was 1986.
Yeah.
So maybe the 911 system wasn't in place entirely.
Maybe it was like so rural, or maybe her brain just wasn't functioning correctly. And the only phone number that could come to her was her family's like childhood home.
That would make perfect sense.
I remember mine still.
Oh, you gave the area code too.
Shit. Well, don't call that. Can you bleep out part of that, Stephen?
We're so proud to know our own phone
I know
numbers.
that we give out our social security number.
Okay. So basically, she goes out of consciousness for a little while. The next time she remembers anything, she heard her father screaming. He came in with the EMTs. So they all found her kind of together. They load her up and she hears 2 EMTs talking over her about how she's not going to make it.
Oh my God.
And that's in her head. She's like, I am too going to make it. That's when she like turned.
Fuck yeah, girl.
It's so awesome. And she's just basically like, this man is not going to take my life from me. It's not happening.
That is amazing.
So, they get her to the hospital. She has so many stab wounds. She needs over 600 stitches.
Oh my God.
I think in the end, she ended up, he stabbed her over 30 times. He was 18 years old. Troy Wigley was arrested at the bank trying to cash the check that he forced her to write to him. He's convicted of aggravated robbery. He's sentenced to life in prison.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. I looked up his name. I looked up her. I looked up a bunch of stuff to try to find out what that was about.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like one of those things where if they didn't have evidence here or there, they were just trying to get him on something that stuck, blah, blah, blah. But to me, it's so insane if she's been stabbed multiple times.
Yeah.
Why aggravated robbery is what he actually gets convicted on.
Right. Because attempted murder, for some reason, isn't treated as murder.
It's not murder.
Right.
That's why it's not treated as murder.
No, but that drives me crazy.
I know, but it's not.
I know.
They have to be 2 different things.
I know.
I mean, they just do. But so she makes a full recovery. It takes her years of pain and hard work. She said she spent a lot of time in denial about what happened to her. She spent months crying, obviously. Who wouldn't? She had multiple surgeries for all of her wounds. She developed a lot of stress-related illnesses that lasted for years because of the trauma. Her marriage crumbled. She was left without a job or money. But she was determined to come out on the other side stronger.
What an amazing woman.
So she realizes she has to get help. So she gets counseling, and she joins a victim support group.
Amazing.
And she decides that her first goal, that she has to set goals for herself so she can recover. Like she has to make it a step-by-step process. So her first goal is she's going to release all the rage and anger that she has about what happened to her. 'Cause she, realizes that's how she's going to get better for herself. And then she starts to speak out for victims' rights and what needs to change in what she calls our offender-focused criminal justice system. In 1991, she's appointed by then Governor Ann Richards to serve on the Texas Board of Criminal Justice, and she did it for 6 years.
Holy shit.
It was an unpaid position. So while she was there, she started it, and it went from part-time to full-time. And she just started doing all kinds of research on the Texas criminal justice system, on victims' rights, on rehabilitation for prisoners, as opposed to just punitive, lock them up and throw away the key. In 1996, both the Texas Corrections Association and the Texas Crime Victim Clearinghouse established awards in her name to recognize her work on behalf of crime victims. Because of her tireless advocacy for rehabilitation of offenders and her dedication to the victims' rights, in 1995, a 500-bed female substance abuse treatment unit was named after her.
Oh my God.
In 1997, she won the National Crime Victim Service Award, the highest federal award for service to victims. In 1999, she was named one of Texas's Women of the Century.
Holy shit.
And in 2001, she was the mediator for a court TV documentary called Meeting with a Killer, One Family's Journey, which was nominated for an Emmy in 2002.
How have I not watched that?
Court TV, maybe it's just old.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ellen Halbert is presently at the time of the article that I was reading, so it might not be right now, but she is the director of the Victim Witness Division at the District Attorney's Office in Travis County, Texas.
What an amazing human being.
Isn't that fucking nuts?
I'm trying to focus on that part instead of the other parts. Cause I feel,
I think that's the point.
I feel nauseous, cause it's so funny how when it's a survivor, I feel like I think we're both in the mindset that like, don't get too disgusting and graphic when it's someone who's died, but when it's a survivor, you can explain everything that happened because they survived that.
Well, and because it's her story.
Right.
So it's the way she tells it.
And she wants it told that way.
Tell it the way she tells it.
Totally. Yeah. That's how she wants it to be told.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's insane and amazing. And what a fucking inspiration and badass motherfucker.
Yeah. She's rad.
Yeah. Wow. That was incredible.
Okay, we're back. Karen, wow. Any updates?
The only update is that Troy Wigley remains in prison. He was denied parole last year. His next review is in 2027. And I mean, this era of me just repeating I Survived episodes, although I kind of love it because for me, I think it turned a corner for me in terms of how much better it felt to tell a story like that.
Yeah.
And I think that it's interesting. So we'd been doing this for like a year or so.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's kind of like, I don't want to talk about those things anymore, those hard ones.
Totally.
And then realizing like, oh, I love this show and I can just retell.
Yeah.
Like Ellen's story from I Survived, she tells it so beautifully, obviously, and it's her story. But to be able to basically be like, and she lived and she fought and she, then gave back to women is like such a satisfying kind of new version of storytelling.
Yeah, you needed some hope in your true crime rather than just like the bleakness.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the story I'm about to do that has stuck with me. Will never think about Girl Scout camp again without thinking about this story.
Same.
It's just so heartbreaking.
It's time to listen to Georgia tell the story of the Oklahoma Girl Scout murders.
We know so much more about our skin than we used to.
10 years ago, no one in America knew what a skin barrier was.
It's time to take care of your skin with CeraVe.
CeraVe facial cleansers don't strip the skin. They strengthen the skin barrier from day one.
Formulated with 3 essential ceramides, hyaluronic acid, and niacinamide to provide long-lasting hydration and 12-hour oil control. I've been using CeraVe for over a decade, I would think. And now it's getting super trendy. And I don't know why, it just makes me proud that something I've used for so long is cool on socials now. But it really does work. And that's why it's been around so long.
No matter your skin type or concern, CeraVe has facial cleansers perfect for you and your skin barrier.
CeraVe is the #1 dermatologist recommended cleanser brand and offers a range of facial cleansers for all skin types. Find yours.
Goodbye. Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora jewelry.
Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and unforgettable moments that make the season so special.
Whether you're planning a weekend getaway, gathering with friends, or simply soaking up every sunny day, Pandora jewelry offers meaningful pieces designed to celebrate your unique story.
From sun-kissed metals that catch the light beautifully to personalized pieces ready to be engraved with your summer mantra, every detail is crafted to help you express yourself with confidence and style.
Explore charms, bracelets, rings, necklaces, and more, thoughtfully designed to complement every adventure and occasion.
Each design moves with you, from beach days and road trips to rooftop dinners, golden nights, and every memory in between.
Layer your favorite looks, mark life's meaningful moments, and create lasting reminders of a season you'll never want to forget.
Find the pieces that reflect who you are and where this summer takes you.
Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection in-store or online at pandora.net and let your summer unfold.
Goodbye. This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace.
Every successful small business starts with someone saying, I wonder if people would actually buy this.
Squarespace gives you everything you need to find out.
From consultations to events and experiences, you can showcase your skills with a customizable website designed to attract clients and grow your business.
With Squarespace's collection of cutting-edge design tools, anyone can build a beautiful, professional online presence that perfectly fits their brand or business.
Get paid on time with professional invoices and online payments. Plus, streamline your workflow with built-in appointment scheduling and email marketing tools.
Head to squarespace.com/murder for a free trial.
And when you're ready to launch, use offer code MURDER to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Goodbye.
Mine isn't so good.
Great.
Mine is not so positive. All right. I'm not going to tell you the name of it because you're going to know it pretty quickly. And, yeah. June 12th, 1977. Nearly 140 Girl Scouts arrived at Camp Scott. Here we go.
Amazing.
The Oklahoma Girl Scout murders.
This is so fucking awful.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff I didn't know about it. I think I've kind of known the murder part, but didn't know what came after it. So, they arrive at Camp Scott, a sprawling, heavily wooded property southeast of Locust Grove in northeast Oklahoma. And the Girl Scouts had been coming to this spot every summer for 50 years. 3 months before camp was supposed to start, what?
Just, sorry, that idea, 50 years of historical 9 to 11-year-olds in the woods.
Yeah.
It just immediately made me go like, there's somebody that knew they came back every year. There's somebody that like knew knew they would be there at that time.
Yeah. I went to Girl Scout camp in a situation incredible, like probably exactly the same setup as this story and this camp. So I can picture exactly what happened.
Sorry, I just remembered. When I was remember when I did that casino gig with Julian McCullough? Mm-hmm. It was in Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
The woman who was the booker for that casino, which was the best gig. It was so much fun. And I'm so sorry I can't remember your name off the top.
Yeah.
I will get it eventually. Drove me by the street you turn down to get to this Girl Scout camp, which is now closed, abandoned, I believe. Yeah. Or maybe they turned it into something else. But we drove all around where she was like, you want me to show it to you? And I was like, yes, I do want you to show it to me. But we couldn't. It was like too far. She was like, it's basically over there.
Yeah.
Because it's the middle of, big flat.
I think there's like a long walkway. I think that's called Cookie Lane. 3 months before camp was to start, I think they're having like all the counselors come and learn what they're going to be doing. April 1977, a counselor at Camp Scott had found that her tent had been ransacked and her donuts were stolen. And in the donut box, in the empty box, was a note warning that 3 girls would be murdered at the camp in the future.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd never heard that before.
Yeah. Everyone wrote it off as a prank.
Yeah.
So June 12th, 1977, first official night of the 2-week stay at Camp Scott. The night is a big thunderstorm, so they don't have their usual activities. Everyone kind of just hunkers down into their tents. So they had it was like the canvas tent material, but like a wood floor.
Yeah. That's actually when I went to camp. That's what the tents were like. Yeah. They called them cabins.
Right. That when I went to Girl Scout camp, it was like that too. And your like shitty cot bed and stuff.
Yeah.
With your itchy fucking, what's it called? Sleeping bag.
Yeah. It's all very uncomfortable. Like it's fun at first. And then you're like, my bed is way better.
Yeah. And taking a shower, you're only allowed 30-second showers. And it sucks.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I think that there was probably a drought at the time. And so they timed the showers and they literally shut off.
30 seconds.
It must have been like 45 seconds or something like that.
Still. Yeah. Jesus.
They're like, we're teaching you how to conserve water, but it's
teaching you how to be dirty.
Yeah. I hated it. So they hunker down for the night. It has no lights in any of the cabins. They just have flashlights. So tent 8 is known as Kiowa. And in that tent, usually it was 4 girls to a tent, no counselors in any of the tents. The 3 friends are Lori Lee Farmer, she's 8, Doris Denise Milner, who's 10, and Michelle Gousset, who's 9. They're all from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, which is a suburb of Tulsa. And Kiowa, their cabin was located the furthest from the camp counselors' tents. It's about 86 yards away. And it's partially obscured by the shower for the camp. So it was like the most remote cabin.
And 86 yards is like almost a football field.
Is it? I didn't know.
A football field's 100 yards.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's so far away.
It might be feet. I heard, I was one of those things where like in different articles, I read different things.
Oh, okay.
So it might be
Yeah. That happens all the time where you're reading this exact same information, but that happens all the time where it's like, is this person's name Jerry or James?
Right.
But it just changes per article.
Or someone in Reddit is like, this is wrong. And you're like,
but I wouldn't be, the way those things are like set up to make them more like in nature.
And 86 feet is still a long way off from responsible. Not even
for 9 and 10-year-olds.
But there's probably 16-year-old girls who are counselors. So and you can see like they have a layout online to show exactly where it is. And it's absolutely on its own. So, okay. So that night, it's said, there's a book called The Camp Scott Murders by C.S. Kelly. He says that 2 counselors had been frightened by 2 men at the camp that night, and some campers said they saw a man in army boots behind a tent. There's so much pre-shit. At 1:30 in the morning, someone hears moaning out near Camp Kiowa. Everyone's in their tent. Carla, a camp counselor, she checks out the noise and described it as a low guttural moaning, but it would stop whenever her flashlight came near. Also, around 2 a.m., the tent flap of tent 7 is opened. 3 of the girls inside are sleeping, but the 4th girl stated that she noticed a beam of light moving around the interior from outside with the silhouette of a large figure behind it. And then she says the figure moved off toward tent number 8, which is Kiowa.
Nora just came back from camp.
Your 9-year-old niece? 10-year-old niece.
I mean, this is rough.
Can you imagine? Okay, well, imagine getting this call of your sister getting this call. Don't imagine it, but
no, I imagine things like that all the time.
Yeah, I know. It's so hard not to.
That's like isn't that just the standard thing of like, oh yeah. For a while, I told you that. For a while, I couldn't stop doing it. I finally had to call my sister and I was like, I just can't stop imagining something. But and my sister goes, oh yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I do it all the time. And I was like, oh, okay. She's just like, too bad. That's how it is. Yeah.
That's when you love a child. That's what happens.
That's part of it.
I get it. So, all right. Moaning sounds are heard throughout the night, throughout the camp. And at around 3 a.m., a girl in the Cherokee section across the woods heard a scream coming from the direction of Kiowa, cabin 8. And here it says it was located about 2 city blocks away. And she heard moaning. A girl in another cabin also heard a scream, and the cries, she said, sounded like mama, mama, someone yelling mama, mama. I know. The next morning at 6 a.m., June 13th, a camp counselor's on her way to the showers, and she stumbles upon a horrific scene at near tent 8.
How old?
She's probably 6. It's a camp counselor.
Oh, a counselor. Yeah. Sorry. I didn't hear.
So the night before, somewhere between 2 and 4 in the morning, someone had cut his way into the tent. Here it gets horrible.
Yeah.
He bludgeons and rapes Lori and Michelle. They had been struck and killed in the tent while they were sleeping, and they had been bound and then the person bound and gagged Doris and took her outside, raped and strangled her as well. So then the 2 girls who are in the tent are like stuffed into the bottom of their sleeping bags. And their sleeping bags are pulled to where Doris is on a path about 150 feet away from the tent. So all 3 girls are left together on like a trail. Gousset and Farmer's sleeping bags had their bodies and were inside. They had bloody bed sheets that had been used. The killer tried to wipe down the blood that was on the floor of the cabin, which is so weird. And they also found a roll of black duct tape and a flashlight the murderer had discarded.
I was thinking was his blood in that blood and that's why he was trying to clean it up?
Who knows? Yeah. Yeah, there was bloody bed sheets. It seemed like after the attacks, he tried to cover his tracks.
Yeah.
Which almost seems like he was panicking.
Well, and also then, hey, don't leave your flashlight.
Yeah. It sounds like he was panicking. Maybe can't realize what he had done. Tried to fix it, you know? Okay. So 4 days later, so the police come, they clean up the scene. And 4 days later, there's this insane manhunt that starts, like the biggest manhunt in Oklahoma history. 4 days later, police find sunglasses belonging to a Camp Scott counselor and a boot print that matched the one found at the scene of the crime in a cave near the camp. So they find that, and they also find a message written on the wall in one of the caves that says, "The killer was here, bye bye fools," and then the date, 6/17/77. They also find tape, plastic from a garbage bag similar to that wrapped around the flashlight found next to the girls, and a newspaper from the same edition as the piece discovered in the flashlight left next to the girls. And they also find two photos. They find two photos of women. The photos are determined to be from the wedding of a prison guard, and they're traced back to a man named Jean Leroy Hart, who had been working at the photo lab in Granite Reformatory and had developed the photos of the wedding of the prison guard when he was serving time for kidnapping and first-degree rape convictions in 1966. So he had these photos of these women, for some reason left them behind, and they were able to trace them back to him.
Okay. But so that means he developed these pictures because it was his job at the prison.
Yeah.
But those pictures were never given to the prison guard?
He probably make copies of them for himself. Maybe there were two pretty women and he wanted to keep the photos of women.
But it's not, the prison guard is in the clear.
Yeah. It's not the prison guard.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about Jean Leroy Hart. He's a 34-year-old Cherokee Native American. He's 5'10", weighs about 200 pounds. He's pretty built. He's like a thick dude. He's got black hair, brown eyes. He's born and raised in Locust Grove, which is right next to the camp. He was a high school football star. He was bright and popular. One of his teachers said he wasn't the kind of kid you would have thought would have turned out bad. But he was an immediate suspect. At the time of the murders, he was on the run from police because he had escaped jail in 1973. He was 22 when he was arrested and accused of abducting two pregnant women from a Tulsa club, raping one of them, and he pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 3 concurrent 10-year prison terms, which is 10 years, as we know.
3 concurrent 10-year terms is 10 years, not 30 years.
Exactly. Which is absurd. He's paroled for raping and kidnapping 2 pregnant women. He's paroled after 28 months. He's arrested again in 1969. This time he's charged with 4 counts of first-degree burglary, pleads not guilty. He's found guilty. And for this and his past crimes, then he's finally sentenced to a maximum of 305 years in prison.
Jesus.
So that judge probably was like aghast that he got out so quickly for rape and kind of threw the book at him, maybe? I'm guessing.
Maybe. The only problem is that if he was set up for the first one, then
I don't think
that's the only problem. Well, I know you don't think he was.
Well, he pled guilty to that.
I know. Lots of people do that.
I know. So he had grown up a half a mile north of Camp Scott. There were other suspects, including a convicted rapist named Bill Stevens. A couple who knew Stevens said he borrowed a flashlight that matched the description of the one left in the crime scene, a few days before the murder. And he showed up with what looked like blood on his boots. He told them he had experienced car trouble in Locust Grove. He denied everything. He said he hadn't been in the area, but a scout at the camp testified that she had seen a man who looked like him at the camp. But they still focused on Hart. The manhunt would go down as the largest in state history. It took an entire year to catch him. He was just cave to cave, house to house, on the run. So they found him in April 1978. He'd been hiding out in the area, and each cave each cave had clues and evidence related to the Girl Scout murders. So they confirming to police that he was their man. They found a mirror and a toy pipe, which another counselor testified had been taken from her tent. He went to trial for the murders and faced 3 counts of first-degree murder. He was acquitted after just 5 hours of deliberation. So this whole community of people and so many people in the community rallied behind him and thought it was a setup, that the evidence had been planted, that he was a good kid. Of course, Cherokee Indians, not of course, but they didn't come out as saying they thought he hadn't done it, but they said they were giving him money for his defense, to support him, because as an American and Native American, they didn't think he would get a fair trial unless he had the money to represent himself, which obviously is true. But they said specifically, we're not saying we think he's innocent or guilty.
They just wanted him to have a fair trial.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
because probably in that area, the go-to thing is if something happens, why don't you go look on the reservation. Why don't you go look at a Native American?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And all the other suspects that they had and that are still around were white. So they just went out. It seemed like they went after him.
Yeah.
But he was acquitted. Everyone in the courtroom cheered, which if you read articles, the 3 families of the 3 killed girls were just so devastated when people were cheering that he got off.
Of course.
You know? And the jurors ended up saying there were too many loose ends. Too many things didn't add up. One juror said, none of us knew whether he did it or didn't. We were shocked that they didn't have more evidence than what they had. So they just couldn't convict him. But because of his previous jailbreak and his earlier crimes, he was taken to prison to serve the remaining 300 years of his previous rape and burglary convictions. So he's taken to prison anyways. 3 weeks later, in 1979, at 35 years old, while jogging in the prison yard, he dies of a heart attack. Some people think he didn't do it or that he didn't act alone. There's physical evidence left behind in the crime scene that was recovered during the autopsy that indicates that 2 offenders were involved in the crime, including 2 different knots being used to tie up the girls, which I think is always kind of a weird sign, right? Mm-hmm. And the girls were separated and died in different manners. Evidence presented at Hart's trial that was used to rule him out included a footprint in the blood of the floor of the cabin that is a size 10. Hart's feet were closer to an 11.5. There's also a fingerprint on the flashlight found at the scene that wasn't Hart's, which I don't think is that weird. You know, it's not like one person would have held that flashlight, period. You know, there could have been a lot
in
of people.
the life of the flashlight.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Then a bunch of DNA tests have been done on biological evidence from the crime scene since the murders throughout the years. There's been nothing conclusive that has come, although in 1989, so of 5 aspects of DNA tested from the scene, 3 matched some bodily fluids that were taken from Hart. Only 1 in 7,700 American Indians would match the samples of that fluid. But because there were only 3 instead of 5 matched, their results were officially deemed inconclusive. But an analysis of sperm samples showed that only 0.002% of the population met the characteristics contained in the evidence, and Hart was included in those.
Wow.
Yeah.
So those numbers are way huger than 1 in 77,000 or whatever. Yeah.
And if they had that technology in 1979, maybe that would have been enough evidence for the jury. Mm-hmm. They kind of went on all circumstantial evidence.
Because they had to.
Because that's all they had.
Right.
Which, you know, it's almost like if they could have waited to have, you know, a lot of times they'll wait to have more evidence to bring them to trial. I don't know.
Yeah, but you can't wait years.
Yeah, but he's in prison anyways.
Yeah, but it's a speedy trial no matter what.
That's true. And the families wants justice.
Yeah, you can't be like, oh, yeah, we'll cross our fingers that good science is coming. Also, because back then, I think they had no idea the kind of forensics that were going to eventually exist.
Well,
I mean,
sometimes they're like in the 80s, I feel like they are finally like, well, this new technology is coming out. A lot of times you hear on like forensic files, let's wait until that technology has, you know, every year I feel like there's a new way of testing some fluid or some stain that they weren't able to do before to extract a different strain of DNA. I don't know if I sound like I don't know what I'm fucking talking about, but
I mean,
yeah,
pretty standard.
Yeah.
Not like
science.
I think that's what we do. We're just basically repeating what we watch on Forensic Files and other shows that tell us about DNA.
Vague postulating. And you know what's so interesting is in this trial, they used things that are now discounted, like hair samples. They found a hair that they said matched him. There was another thing that they found that they said matched him that now wouldn't be admissible in court.
Is it a fiber thing?
Probably fibers, yeah, that now would never be admissible in court.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of weird. Let's see. Members of Hart's Native American family also accused the police of going after Hart because he's a Native American. Many people said that the sheriff of town was really vindictive because Hart had made him look bad for escaping twice. I just spit. And being on lam so long. He was on lam for 4 years.
Yeah.
Which makes the sheriff look really stupid. So he tries to throw the book at him.
Wow.
And a former prosecutor, tried to turn the killing and Hart's arrest into a position as a state attorney general and to write a book about it. So for monetary gain as well. So that's kind of their proof that he was railroaded.
Yeah.
So after he died, authorities didn't pursue that many other suspects after the killings of, and I want to say their names again because, you know, they're kind of ignored there. So Laura Lee Farmer, Doris Denise Milner, and Michelle Gousset. No other suspects were really pursued or arrested. And then all the parents went on to do all this, of course, victims advocacy. They were all, you know, they all are interviewed and ended up being these incredible people and doing good things afterwards. But when the sister of Lori, when she went back to school, after the murder of her sister 2 years after, and after he had been acquitted, Hart had been acquitted, she wrote a school, and this is just so sad to me. She wrote a school paper, and in it she said, "One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, except for my family."
Oh, no.
I know. And that's the story of the Oklahoma Girl Scout murders. Isn't that sad?
It's so sad.
These little girls.
Also, to me, it's just like that crime. This is all I think about. Who knows what really happened? Like the idea that someone hides in caves when they're on the lam is the perfect way to set somebody up to put shit in a cave.
Go find a cave.
Why would you, this is like Jack the Ripper stuff. Why would you write on the wall?
Yeah.
If you did this thing, you would cover all your tracks and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go writing on the wall, bye bye motherfuckers or whatever. That's so stupid.
With a date, putting the date.
A date and like, yeah. And so.
Unless you were taunting the police.
Unless you were taunting the police or unless the police were trying to set somebody up to perfectly match what he'd already done in that kind of making a murderer way, which is like, we don't like you. We don't like your type. We're going to take care of business.
Yeah. And we've been trying to find you. We don't have any more budget to put into this. But if you're the guy, child murderer and rapist, then we can put all of our resources into finding you. It's
the
one
only
of those
problem, I was just going to say, the only problem that I mean, obviously, the thing that makes me upset about that, then if that is what they're doing, if their agenda turns from finding the person who did it into getting the person that has shamed them or whatever fucking problem there is, then we still have a person who stabbed 3 9-year-old girls with a fucking knife and raped them, walking around the world.
Yep.
That's the problem to me.
Yeah. It's one of those cases where I don't know if he's guilty or not, but I could argue either way, you know, that the evidence was planted in the caves or he was taunting them. You know, it's either one is plausible. And then arguing, like, I hadn't thought about what you said, which is, did he not commit those rapes? If he committed those rapes, to me, it's obvious that he was also capable, you know, of this crime. Yeah. And I also, I'm leaning more towards him having it being more than one person who committed those crimes because of the ropes being different knots, because of, them being separated and being murdered in different ways. You know, 2 of the girls were immediately knocked unconscious and left in the cabin and one wasn't. You know, it's weird.
It's all different, like MOs. Yeah.
Yeah. And people argue that, how would one person be able to handle these 3 girls, which I think is a bullshit argument because 2 girls were unconscious. But not only that, we know that these predators can scare especially small girls into obeying them or
Hell
else.
Yes. Richard Speck.
Yeah.
It was 8, I believe, off the top of my head. 8 nurses, fully grown women who he got to all stay in a room while he took them out one by one, raped and murdered them. And they can't, like the woman who was hiding was just like, you don't understand. It was, he had a gun and he kept being very soothing or whatever. So like that, being able to control people when you are the attacker is, I love when people argue that shit. Where it's like, what are you fucking talking about? Those people weren't sitting on a couch drinking coffee casually. They said,
if you scream, we're going to kill your family.
Yes.
Or we're going to, as simple as that.
If you scream, I'll shoot your friend over here. That kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean,
I hate that argument. Yeah. So that I think you can't really, but other little things like this, different kinds of ropes, it's just,
It just feels like if there's ever a murder that should have been solved.
Right.
3 10-year-old girls at Girl Scout camp, they should have fucking figured out the best way to figure out who did that.
Well, and they're also doing more, they're continuing the DNA testing. So as it does get more advanced, they're trying.
The case is still open?
Yeah. And they are like sending different kinds of, like the new swabs they can actually test. They're still doing that. So there still might be an answer one day.
Don't you think it's possible? Now, I love to devil's advocate, and I love to go like, what is the thing that isn't being thought of or something?
Yeah.
The idea that he's jogging in jail and dies of a heart attack at age 35 is interesting to me. Not that it isn't possible, and there's some people that have congenital heart problems.
That's what they said. He's got that runs in his family. He was really out of shape, but 35 definitely.
Then why is he jogging?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna get it all together once you're fucking in jail.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna lose this last 20 pounds.
That's definitely a good argument. And it's the thing of like, if that DNA does come back to him, which it kind of seems like it did in these other ways, people are gonna say, well, it was planted. So I think unless it comes back as someone else doing it, no one's ever going to fully believe that and conclusively believe that he was the killer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then hearing that he got acquitted is just so, if you believe it was him, is so heartbreaking. And I think the families all believed it was him.
Of course they did.
Girls. Yeah, they wanted to,
but also it makes me think of the West Memphis 3.
Yeah.
When you have the perfect person who did it, you want it to be over.
Yeah.
You want it to be over.
And you also want to show everyone that, or the police force and the FBI was there there was a huge manhunt. For a year, you want to show that you have done your due diligence and you caught the bad guy. Everyone can stop being afraid. Cause can you imagine for a year, this person who has no problem raping and sodomizing a fucking 9-year-old is on the loose?
Yeah. In the neighborhood.
Then you have to look at all the photos of the 3 girls. They're just these sweet baby angel, like young sweethearts. And then I look at the photos of them with their siblings and it's those poor, I feel so bad for the victim, but the siblings too, the rest of their lives must have been so horrifying.
Yeah.
It's not something you ever get over.
Right.
Especially then you go and have children and you see your own 9-year-old daughter and, how can you imagine someone hurting that person? What a fucking monster.
Yeah. Yeah. They've got to figure out a way, Minority Report style.
Totally.
To figure out who these people are conclusively.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what I feel like. Instead of making for-profit prisons, maybe it should be like, can we just actually focus on so that when these people exist in society, we figure out a way to find them and make sure they don't do this to people?
Well, yeah, we brain scan them and that brain scan tells us what they're capable of, what they're lying about, even if they're a sociopath, you can still see that what neurons fire when they're lying. Listen, if they have a memory of this crime,
if their brains are see-through,
if their
like
brains,
those fish from way down deep in the deepest depths of the ocean.
What are their brains made of? Are they made of goldfish crackers?
Are they just a ton of tiny knives in there?
If there are tiny knives, and it's a tiny murderer. Is there a tiny murderer in the brain controlling it with controls?
If there is, let's get rid of those people. Let's put them all on some kind of leper's island.
Great.
This has been a serious waste of time. Thanks, everybody.
No, it hasn't. Maybe we'll change everything. No, we'll change nothing.
No, there's lots of people working hard to change things.
Yes,
I think for sure. We hear from people all the time that are like, I'm going to fucking criminology school.
Yeah. I'm a victim's advocate.
Yep. All the time.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Yeah. And I think like that, it's that idea that instead of letting politics get in the way
and money,
let's catch child murderers. Let's catch adult murderers. Let's
catch child murderers before they child murder. But then we're getting into some really
predictive.
Right.
Well, that is what Minority Report is about.
Right. which is like
that and great graphics.
What's the ethnicity about? And Tom Cruise at his best.
Oh my
before the fucking downhill. You guys who are younger don't remember that Tom Cruise was a heartthrob.
You don't remember. It was 2010.
7 years ago, though.
Oh my God.
That's 7 years ago.
7 years.
I know. I know.
I mean,
it's time goes by.
Okay, we're back. What are the updates for this story?
Okay, so reporting from 2022 says that DNA tests done by the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation strongly, quote, strongly point to Jean Leroy Hart as being involved in the murders. This has led some outlets to declare the case solved, but this DNA evidence is ultimately described as inconclusive, which is so frustrating.
Yeah.
In 2022, just ahead of the 45th anniversary of the crime, Hulu and ABC News released a 4-part documentary series entitled Keeper of the Ashes, the Oklahoma Girl Scout Murders. It's anchored by actress, singer, and Oklahoma native Kristen Chenoweth, who in 1977 was a young Girl Scout and planned to go on this camping trip.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
She wound up getting sick and not being able to go.
That's incredible.
I know. I haven't seen it. I'm definitely going to watch it.
Yeah, me too.
In 2023, Cherokee novelist Faith Phillips revealed that a former Mays County sheriff told her he'd obtained a confession in the case. It reportedly came from an incarcerated man named Buddy Bristol, who said he'd been at the campsite the night of the murders with several other men. And Phillips, ostensibly quoting her sheriff's source, says that Bristol claimed, quote, one of the other men murdered the little girls, and the other men who he named are still living in the community today.
Oh my, I mean, that's bombshell information. Yeah. And like, how do they figure that out?
I don't know. It's so different than what the possible DNA says. Like, it's almost like makes it more convoluted when it's like, it could be this, it could be that. It's like, we want a definite answer and there's just nothing to give.
It feels like and correct me if I'm wrong, but like the directive when you told that story was all about how Jean Hart was like, it felt like they were like, this is the guy at the end.
Yeah.
So that idea that like those same people who did that then are going to come back and be like, hey, look, we found some DNA that proved we were right.
Totally.
Where it's like, yes, we want to be able to trust that source.
Yeah.
But that is the source that did it in the first place.
And what does strongly pointing to the person and being inconclusive mean? Like those two things kind of don't go together in any way.
It feels almost like they're floating the gossip of like, it's still him, but we just don't.
Strongly meaning what? I want to know more about that.
I mean, it'd be interesting to know that it's so frustrating. And also that is just, it truly is such a nightmare story.
Just heartbreaking.
Well, let's wrap this show up.
Let's do it. I love that this is when I got Dottie, my sweet Dottie.
Oh, it's like a Dottie's origin story.
I know. Dottie's like 5 and fluffy as shit and loves her crunchies and cat grass. And she's just the absolute sweetest cat I've ever met in my life.
She has always had like that good kind of like classic cat personality.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not going to, I mean, look. You know I'm Mimi's number one fan.
I know you are, but Mimi's spicy.
Mimi's spicy and Dottie is sweet.
Dottie is so sweet. She like won't even smack Cookie if he's trying to play with her, which he always tries to play with her. And she's like, I've never played with you. This is not going to happen, but I won't hit you.
Yeah, because I'll be patient, but I'm not doing it.
Get away from me, please.
That's our girl. Okay, so originally this episode was called The Freshest Recording.
Which I love. Mm-hmm. But if we were naming it today based on something we said in this episode, perhaps we would call it Morning Positive. Meaning, I am not morning positive anymore. I don't know who this Georgia was, but
I mean, it was almost like, could I be different now? It's like me every year in high school being like, I'm going to be shy this year. It's like, sure, I'm going to like the morning.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to get stuff done like people do.
Can you imagine if that's what we started doing, where it's like ring, ring, 10 a.m.?
No.
Or I wonder if we got it at the beginning of the day before, like, the day went awry.
I would love to do it earlier than we do now because it's so disarming to drive here and home in other people's rush hour from their actual jobs. Mm-hmm. So it'd be great if we could do it at like 1:30 or 2, but that would never happen. We would just keep pushing it. And like, it wouldn't happen.
What if instead we get you a briefcase? Remember back to that?
One. I have one.
What? Well, should we do the thing we said we were going to do 6 months ago and get briefcases to bring? Or I'll go get one too?
Can you find one?
Can we? And we'll present?
Okay, tell me when you have yours and I'll bring mine.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Sorry, back to the titling. We could also do the title Sincere Vague Postulating, which is what Georgia talks about what we do on this podcast as she tries to remember a description of a show she likes. It's a really good synopsis of this show.
I stand by.
Yeah.
Or we could do our own phone numbers because we're so proud to know our own childhood phone numbers.
If you want to dial my childhood number, I can tell you I can tell you both of them right now.
But does your dad still use it?
No, because he's on his cell phone. There's no landline anymore.
Let's keep it a secret.
Okay.
You got to keep some stuff to yourself in podcasting.
No, I want to lay it all on the field and then run into the sea. Okay, that's been this week's episode of Rewind.
We'll say goodbye from 2017.
I gotta go to work.
Okay, that's right. You have to go to work. Oh my God, how is
Isn't
it
that weird?
This is coming out in 2 hours.
Yeah.
If Stephen can.
Sorry for the delay. I'm sure we're gonna get. I'm sure Stephen's gonna get, and already has gotten lots of messages.
When we were texting yesterday about, is it okay if we do it in the morning? And Stephen's like, yeah, but it's going to be late and people get upset. You know, we should let them know. And then I said, okay, just tell them it's your fault. Steven, tell them you did it.
Steven,
It's all me.
Elvis can't meow on this one.
I know.
Where's the kitten?
So you can hit it in the face. Where's that kitten?
I was going to make her meow. Listen, I love her. Fucking Dottie. She's an angel baby. Once Elvis is home,
Hold good thoughts in your mind and prayers for Elvis, for his quick recovery.
Yeah.
So you can come back and eat cookies and meow with us soon. And until we see you again, stay sexy.
And don't get murdered.
Bye.
Hey everybody, here's the thing about other home security systems. They're all designed for after the window breaks, after someone's inside, after you get the notification, after the police come. SimpliSafe is the first system designed for before, stopping a break-in before it even begins.
That's right. Unlike traditional security systems that only alert you after a break-in is already underway, SimpliSafe is designed to help prevent the crime before it starts. Their cameras can detect suspicious activity at the perimeter and alert live U.S.-based agents. Then SimpliSafe's agents assess the threat, intervene, speak through the camera to scare off the intruders, and call for 911 dispatch.
That's right, and SimpliSafe has been protecting your world for 20 years, everybody. So celebrate their anniversary and save 60% on your new SimpliSafe system at simplisafe.com/stuff. That's 60% off, you guys, at simplisafe.com/stuff. Plus, when you order, write in our show name and the How Did You Hear About Us survey to let them know that we sent you. Don't forget, there's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Calling all amateur detectives and podcast obsessives.
Virgin Voyage's second true crime voyage sets sail March 20th, 2027 for a 5-night escape to Grand Turk and the Beach Club at Bimini.
As part of the On Air at Sea collection, this immersive sailing brings together fan-favorite podcasts, including Disgraceland, Buried Bones, and Wisecrack, for live recordings, behind-the-scenes access, exclusive meet and greets, and crime-themed programming that you won't find anywhere else.
All aboard our award-winning, kid-free ships.
Head over to virginvoyages.com/truecrime to secure your spot.
Goodbye.
I'm Nancy Glass, host of the Burden of Guilt Season 3 podcast. This is a story about a horrendous situation that destroyed 2 families. It's a scorched earth war that shows just how far someone will go to get what they want.
Cindy said I had to choose between the truth and my family, and I had to choose the truth.
Listen to Season 3 of Burden of Guilt on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.